Lots of changes for the Racer League Season 2. What are they? Find out next. Well, good evening and welcome to the Racer League off-season show. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott, and tonight on the off-season Racer League show, we are going to cover rule changes for Season 2. I will be sitting in studio with the driver of the number 52 car, Eric Rector. But some highlights and recap for Season 1 of the Racer League. Our inaugural champion was the number 72 of Michael Rector. He finished 6th in the final race at Coca-Cola, but outbeat, the number 17, 47, and 84. It was definitely an interesting season, seeing as how in the showdown week 1, Michael Rector was eliminated, but won the second race of the showdown to get himself into the championship race. In doing so, he won the championship. Well, when I come back, I will have in studio with me, like I said, the number 52 of Eric Rector, and we will go over the rule changes for Season 2. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Frank, and you're watching the Racer League. And I've got a small problem. See, yesterday my wife asked me to hand me her lipstick, and I handed her a glue stick. Yeah, she still ain't talking to me.
Good evening again, and welcome to the Racer League. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott, and this is the off-season show. In studio with me, I have the driver of the number 52, Eric Rector, who is doing some things. Anyway, we're going to go over some rule changes for the Racer League. The first rule change, Eric, that they are implementing is no roof flaps for the cars. What are your thoughts on that?
That's going to be quite interesting. High flying.
High flying. How so? How do you think that is going to affect you as a driver?
As a driver, without the roof flaps, when we spin around, the car's going to get airborne.
All right. Definitely interesting for us to watch at home, to watch the cars, as he says, go flying. Second change for Season 2 is a mix-up in the schedule for the Racer League. What are your thoughts on some of that? The 8 Bowl will no longer be race 14, it will be race 9.
I like that change.
You do?
I do. The Daytona race will be right before the final race.
It will.
And that was some really good racing.
It was. Do you enjoy the Coca-Cola races better or the short tracks? Normal speedways better. You like the Coca-Cola. What is it about the Coca-Cola race that you like so much?
Put that pedal down and off we go.
Okay. Interesting. We do race at Coca-Cola 3 times in the Racer League.
Absolutely.
So is your PlayStation team ready and set up for this next season?
Absolutely. We're ready to go. We are ready to mash that R2 button and get going.
All right. Well, you finished decent in the Racer League this last season. What do you think is your strongest track that we will go to this next season?
Really like the 1.5 mile tracks.
Okay.
Lowe's, Atlanta.
All right. Well, we do race at Lowe's at night. They're in the showdown. That'll be a nice change, I believe, then for you. Maybe race yourself in off of a win or points and win that Lowe's race or what have you, and lock yourself in the championship this season.
That's the hope.
That would be fantastic. Now, the biggest rule change for the Racer League is we are going from 30 drivers to 40 drivers. With that, our points have gone from First place, 99 points. Second place, 96 points. Third place, 93 points, and consecutively falling. The change, however, will come when you hit 31st. From 31st on back, you will receive, or the drivers will receive, negative points. Eric, what are your thoughts on the negative point system in 40 drivers for the Racer League this next season?
That's really going to shake it up. Definitely don't want to finish below, 33rd.
Yeah.
33rd and below, you get negative points. That's extra incentive to get back out on the track, get the car fixed up.
That it is. What do you think, though, about 40 drivers just in general out on the track? You've been racing around with 30 of your fellow competitors. Mm-hmm. Now you're going up against another 10.
Yeah, that's a lot less real estate on the racetrack.
Especially those tracks. Like, we will be racing at Richmond. We will not be racing at Bristol this year, but we will be racing at Darlington, which is another short, very narrow track. Short-ish, very narrow. What are your thoughts on that track this season and 40 drivers in it?
Try to keep it off the wall.
Have you raced at Darlington before?
I have in other seasons.
In other seasons, okay.
In other leagues, yes.
All right. Well, interesting. Do you have one track that you're looking forward to this next season?
I'm a big fan of the Coca-Cola tracks.
Okay.
I really am. So really looking forward to get back there and hopefully get a win at one of those.
Fantastic. Now, there are some changes also kind of coming with your team, adding another driver to your team. How do you think that is going to help your team succeed this next season?
Well, it's going to help tremendously. Skittle Waffles joining our team, and shout out to Skittle Waffles. And yeah, I think that team's going to be awesome this year.
Yes, you did have your teammate, the number 17, was the runner-up for the inaugural championship. What notes are you taking away from her as your team moves forward?
Well, we pretty much share notes throughout our team. So what they have and what we have it's all the same. So
There's no well, I've got this and I'm not going to share that, because there was a lot of thought about that, with her dominance, and hate to say it, there was some weeks where you were struggling this last season, Eric.
Yeah, we but just because everybody's has a good setup doesn't mean that they don't. We try different setups for different drivers. So some setups mesh with other drivers better.
Fantastic. I'm going to ask you a few things about some of the drivers, if you don't mind me asking. I believe it was when we were at the Mazda Raceway there, Laguna Seca. You took out the number 92 Kim Jackson.
I sure did.
What was your... it looked like a deliberate move against the 92. What do you want to say about that?
I would never do anything deliberate like that.
No? Well, there's a lot of talk. We call that team, the aggressive team of the 92 and 47 of John Jackson.
You definitely don't want to be racing around them.
No. Do you get nervous when you see that black 47 in your rear view?
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Oh, yeah.
If there's one driver out there that you enjoy racing with that's not on your team, that you wish was on your team, who would it be?
I'd have to say probably the number 72.
Number 7, Michael Rector. Last season's... Is it because he was the champion last season, or just... What's the deal? Just. Well, he did win also most popular driver.
And it is that way in the garage too.
Everybody really likes that number 72. Just that whole team, or just the 72?
The whole team, but 72 in particular.
All right. Interesting. Any new paint schemes for your team coming out this season?
Yes. We're going to have Maxis as a paint scheme for the 48 this year.
Excellent. Any new paint schemes for you this year?
None in the works at the moment.
None in the works. Fantastic. Interesting. Well, that's great. Well, we'd like to have your thoughts on the rule changes for Season 2 and how you think the 40 drivers will affect all the other drivers out there and the point system this next season. Well, thanks, Eric, for joining me this evening.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. This has been the Racer League off-season show. I am your host, Nathaniel Scott, and I will see you next time. Who are you pointing?
Racer League is brought to you by Ben Sound. And images were provided by Google. Don't forget to like or comment below on what you think of Racer League. And throw a heart in for me.